Most people have driven a car for decades and have absolutely no idea what's happening 6 inches in front of their face. You turn the key, the thing starts, and you just accept that, like magic, like a microwave. You don't think about it. Here's the thing. Your engine is doing something so violent, so controlled, and so ridiculous that if I described it to you without context, you'd think I was making it up. Let me show you what's actually going on under that hood. Now, do you need to know how your engine works to drive a car? No, absolutely not. But here's when this information saves you money. The average person spends about $800 a year on car repairs they didn't see coming. A lot of those repairs, not all but a lot, come from ignoring warning signs they didn't understand. The check engine light comes on, they ignore it. 3 months later, a $200 sensor problem has turned into a $1,400 catalytic converter. That's the tax you pay for not knowing what's happening under the hood. So we're not doing this for fun. Well, we are doing it for fun. But we're also doing it so next time something goes wrong, you have enough of a clue to not get completely taken to the cleaners. Okay, a car engine has one job: turn fuel into motion. That's it. Gasoline goes in, wheels spin. Everything inside the engine exists to make that conversion happen as efficiently and repeatedly as possible. The engine in your car is called an internal combustion engine. Internal means the burning happens inside the engine. Combustion means burning, so it's an inside burning engine. Revolutionary naming. Great work, engineers. Here's what's actually inside. Your engine has cylinders. Most cars have 4, 6, or 8 of them. Think of a cylinder like a metal tube with a piston sitting inside it. The piston is just a plug. It moves up and down inside that tube. Each time that piston moves up and down through a complete cycle, it's doing 4 things in sequence. And this is where it gets good. Mechanics have a name for these 4 steps. It's not technical, it's not fancy. It is, in fact, exactly what it sounds like. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow. I didn't make that up. That's what they actually call it. Step 1, suck. The piston moves down and pulls in a mixture of air and fuel, like inhaling. Step 2, squeeze. The piston moves back up and compresses that air-fuel mixture into a tiny space. We're talking crushing it down to about 1/10 of its original size. This is important. The more you compress something, the more energy you get when it explodes. Step 3, bang. The spark plug fires. The compressed air-fuel mixture ignites. It doesn't just burn, it explodes. That explosion drives the piston back down with serious force. This is the only step that actually produces power. The other 3 steps exist to make this one step happen. Step 4, blow. The piston comes back up and pushes the exhaust, the burnt gas, out of the cylinder and out through your exhaust pipe. That's what's coming out of your tailpipe, the ghost of the explosion you just made. Then it starts again, immediately, in the next cylinder. While this one is still finishing step 4, in a 4-cylinder engine running at 2,000 revolutions per minute, a normal highway speed, this 4-step cycle is happening 8,000 times per minute, across all 4 cylinders, simultaneously, in perfect sequence. That's not magic. That's engineering. Barely contained, slightly terrifying, completely genius engineering. Now here's where it all connects, because the pistons don't directly turn your wheels. There's a chain of components between piston goes down and wheel turns. The piston connects to a crankshaft. Every time a piston gets driven down by an explosion, it pushes on the crankshaft and makes it rotate. Think of it like pedaling a bike. Your legs go up and down, the pedals rotate the chain turns the wheel. Same idea. Piston goes down, crankshaft turns. The crankshaft connects to your transmission, which connects to a drive shaft, which turns your wheels. That's the chain. Explosion to motion in 4 steps. Now 3 other systems keep all of this from destroying itself. The cooling system. All those explosions generate an enormous amount of heat. Left unchecked, your engine would melt itself within minutes. The cooling system, your radiator, water pump, and coolant, circulates fluid around the engine to pull that heat away and dump it into the air. This is why your temperature gauge matters. This is also why it's just running a little hot is never actually just anything. The lubrication system, metal parts moving against each other at thousands of rotations per minute, would grind each other to dust without oil. Your engine oil coats every moving surface and keeps metal from touching metal directly. This is why low oil is a real emergency, not an inconvenience. You're not a little low. You're running dry bearings at 3,000 revolutions per minute. The ignition system. The spark plugs are the trigger, but they don't just fire randomly. They fire at precisely the right microsecond based on where each piston is in its cycle. This timing is controlled by your engine control module, which is basically the engine's brain. If the timing is off, the engine doesn't run right. If it's badly off, the engine damages itself. Okay, so what does any of this mean for you as an actual person who drives a car? 3 things. That's it. 1. Your oil is not optional. The lubrication system is the difference between an engine that lasts 200,000 miles and one that seizes at 80,000. Change your oil. Don't wait until the light comes on as a reminder. The light means you're already late. Most manufacturers say every 5,000 to 7,500 miles for modern engines. Do it. 2. Your temperature gauge is not decorative. If your engine is running hot, something in the cooling system is failing. Pull over. Seriously. A $200 thermostat repair becomes a $4,000 engine replacement if you drive through it. The engine will tell you it's overheating before it destroys itself. You have a window. Use it. 3. Don't ignore the check engine light. I know. It's been on for 6 months and the car seems fine. But that light is your engine control module flagging something it doesn't like. Something in the fuel system, the ignition timing, the emission system. Most of the time it's minor. Sometimes it's a warning that something minor is about to become something major. A basic code reader costs $25 at any auto parts store. Plug it in, read the code, Google it. 30 seconds of information saves you from walking in blind to a repair shop. That's the whole game. Keep the oil clean, watch the temperature, don't ignore the light. Everything else, the suck, squeeze, bang, blow, the crankshaft, the timing, that's just context. And now you have it. That's how your car engine works. Explained by an idiot for everyone else who never got around to asking. Next week, we're talking about how your Wi-Fi actually works, because the explanation you've heard is probably wrong, and the real one is actually weirder. If this saved you from nodding blankly at a mechanic someday, hit subscribe. New video every Tuesday. I'll see you next week.